Welcome to this video. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness. Highest levels of love light. I'm just going to go into a little flow. I'm asking to completely center myself with Mother Earth Gaia, air, aether, charge, plasma, wind, water, the sun. Fully aligning myself with my guides. Giving gratitude to the animal kingdom, the plant and mineral kingdom, all of the elementals. Wai kiwa hain tiste kwa wahen. Kia ono au kwa we titi kunewa. Kode ut et esto akunahai tet ikunahau ai ikunewa. And many of us are in the process of realigning our alliances with our true allies, those which we have the capacity for connecting into at all times. We realign from our realigned energy centers, our realigned imagination. And in this, we realize that which it has been that we have ignored, that which it has been that we have been bored with, that which was the board that we were playing on before has now shifted the entire blueprint, diagram. Niwea wa kuahini di wuishte mokune di dukuena. Many of us have birthed more tekur at et ek ak ukur at ek hier dishter hokur. Yet, the concept of needing more, of chasing more, of becoming more is an old concept. For we are already that which we are wanting to become. It is held within us. It has always been. It has already been to pass. It has already been seen from one perspective, so to speak. Yet we are moving into a deeper perspective that allows us to be in the bandwidth of becoming. We must not ignore the realm in which we exist, the elemental kingdom in which we exist with. For we are the micro binome, microbiotic. We are the microbiome that exists within this planetary circumferential space. We are part of the geometries, the equation that makes up the complete whole. Those all play on words, by the way, too. We can play with this. Black hole, interferometry, the geo trees. We are the living biological being and the mechanisms that are within. Yet many of us have tuned out our own inner mechanisms, focusing only on the mechanical, stepping away from the botanical, forgetting about the inner workings, the inner mechanizations, looking to outsourcing into machinery, an artificial anomaly. We invite you, we are being invited to, we are you, we are we. Stop and smell the roses, for when we come into full bloom, when we allow ourselves to make room, to make space in the rooms that we have created, it allows us to zoom in to the heart space currency in order to zoom out and see what is beyond the complacency, the hyped up expectations that are blaring at us from a box. I'm hearing that song from that show Weeds. What is it? Tiny boxes all in a row. I'm thinking about how Tony Robbins has this mix where he talks about we get into our box, we sleep in our box, we drive in our box, we go home and watch a box, we eat a box from a box. We're being invited to step out of the cube, if you will, into the higher planes, the platonic existences. I'm hearing the dodecahedron, the hydrogen, the hydron, tur at ek hak at et ishtak and beyond. Be on, rather than turn off, shut down, and turn to other programmers to tell us about the programs that they have created for us. For we are the creators of our own programs, for we are the programmers that are keying into these docile components. Yet we are instilling from within us, in stillness, a passion, our inner expression. Tekur at etekur at ekir akur. Our inner crystallization, if you will. Crystallization. Our inner circuitry board in organic fashion. Play on words. For we are connected to the great motherboard. I'm hearing Mother Earth, Gaia. And how can we be bored with that? But we have forgotten, many of us, the path that we were on. We have forgotten and become complacent in playing and intermingling with the elemental kingdom. I'm hearing the bats and the bees. And I'm hearing the bees and the bats have been up to bat for us. They still create and co-create with us. And why do we speak so much about connecting to the realm in which we exist within? For that realm seems to be outside of us, just as the black boxes that we are all plugging into, we are all feeding our group attention and awareness to, that is being fed by programmers that we are all bearing witness to. For all of this non-organic porting, if you will. I'm seeing ports like wires and circuitry boards. Can be very useful to humanity as a whole. Yet we must find our own inner self-worth before we plug into other components that then project back to us what it is that we feel, see, begin to believe we must tune into to see our own self-worth. Play on words. The ancestors completed a great many feats, if you will, play on words, that involved a great amount of chemical and biological manifestations. And when I say this, I'm seeing past and future. So past things that we used that were very organic, that have been lost, that we used with crystals and plants. I'm hearing living architecture. We're being invited to remember that what we map into now changes the future. And being that time is one big circle, it also changes the past. We are constantly being gifted with alternative resources that are coming up from the earth to help match what it is that we are trying to birth. For she is our mother. And our mother provides with us the milk that is required in order to, I'm hearing the nutrients to that we may then choose to rebuke as a fluke of nature, or recognize that it is never a fluke but merely a missed opportunity that we can then key into to recognize that there is a greater pattern being displayed in the harmonics of the earth and Mother Nature to attune and to assist us to into attuning to at one-ment for our greater expansion, expression, birth, phase of development, if you will. For all finite things come to an end. All finite principles, even if passed over as infinite, will come to an end. Yet the infinite that is within you, within me, within all that we exist within will continue. Principles will continue to grow. We are being invited to step back within, to take a step back away from that which we are being led. I'm seeing a lead pencil. Led into believing. For must we believe in an outside source to believe in ourselves? And the more we unplug from outside energies, the more we plug into the deeper source, the infinite energy that streams out as the source from us. And from that space, we create the outside efficiencies, if you will, the outside components and energy sources that are being brought forth from the heart that are being brought into our awareness from joy and bliss, bringing and setting forward into the future a higher standard, rather than, I'm hearing acquiescing into fear. For if we are creating and acting from a place of fear, we are not choosing. I'm seeing this as a play on words. Our choice points then are stressed, perhaps. And under stress, I'm hearing Fraggle Rock. Do you remember Fraggle Rock? I'm totally dating myself. Fraggle Rock. I'm seeing when I say Fraggle Rock, it's like this sound. It's broken, it's fragmented, and it breaks through this bedrock, and it's no longer sound. It's like, I'm bringing it back into infinite versus finite. Like it creates this unnecessary exposure, is what I'm hearing. So, as we access in this deeper set of skill sets, if you will, as we access our superconscious, our inner genius, our inner true genius in us, we let go of the need to look outside of us or to birth from this field. We step into a place of inner knowing. We create the transcriptions that read the correct way. We transcribe from the higher vibe, if you will. We let go of the need to Fraggle Rock, fractionate, to break apart, if you will. We let go of the need to break apart, to go against our own inner will. And we come together in a plasmatic play. And these platonic solids that we play with, the tectonic, platonic solids, become a moving, morphing, melding, hydrogenetic. I think that's a play on words with genes, genetics. Hydra, like water, moving field that then allows for deeper stability. So I'm seeing this as in reference, if any of you guys have like buildings that are built for earthquakes, they're not like rock solid. They're meant to move a little bit so that they can shift and move with the weight. I'm seeing differentiation. So as we play with this earth cycle that we are in now, as we connect more with the sandbox that we are playing in, all of the tools that we then create, I'm hearing artificially inseminate into our new birthing cycle, are created and made from a harmonious exchange and interplay of interconnectivity that is not separate from the earth frequency. It is one with it. We are then held, cared for, and this disconnect is no longer cared for. It no longer suits us. For the skin suits that we exist within are, I'm hearing Zootsu ride, throw back a bottle of beer. Not fighting, but basically like, it's not about fighting anymore. It's about up-leveling and recognizing that we're all in a skin suit. Like, it's outside. Yes, it is a biological miracle. We are all biological walking miracles, if you will. Yet, our expressions through our skin that come from light source energy because of certain codes that we have within our genetic biology is merely an expression of source. Therefore, we are all unique individual butterflies. We don't just have one color butterfly. They can't all be monarch butterflies. There's tiger butterflies. There's a lot more. I just got a little distracted there. I'm seeing that what's happening is our extrasensory abilities that we're all tapping into are also unique and individual. And they're expressed from within. And this allows some people to tap more into algorithms and other people to tap more into unique chemistry, and others tapping into the biofield, which that's all connected, of course. And some of us are tapping into the basics, which are not basic, how we interact with one another. Some have a gift of communication, and we're all meant to share this and express them in a safe, comfortable environment and not be afraid of who we are. Because, well, for obvious reasons, but what I'm seeing is that it's just so massive. It's huge. Quantum, I'm hearing galactic doesn't even cover it. It's this quantum scale. And as we access, I'm hearing access, success. So we're accessing it, we're crossing it, it's an access point. And what does success? What are we measuring it by, right? We allow ourselves to measure up. And I'm hearing quit measuring each other. This increases our value system. Because then our value system is based on symmetry, is what I'm hearing. And this is a play on words. Symmetry. It's like a SIM card holding information that all comes together with different components to create this tree of life, essentially. This is a new tree of life, a new geometry. The geo-me tree. And as we catalyze these components, we let go of the need to be catalyzed. Ooh. Playing words, singing cattle, moo. So as we fire these up, and this also has to do, guys, from what I'm seeing, is being in bliss, creating from a place of harmony, inner passion that is ignited from the heart and the soul spark. Then we aren't cattle anymore that are feeding what we're being told to eat, eating what we're being told to eat. Oh, I see. This was a play on words. We're being fed, feed. Half the feed that cattle are given isn't even what they're supposed to be eating. But yet they're fed that anyways. So I'm hearing force feeding. It's like many people don't even realize they're being force fed because they've given away they've said, okay, I'll go ahead and take this on as mine because that's what I'm being told I should do, right? And it's because they're plugging into a box. And when I say black box, the TV, of course, the radio, any type of computer, whatever. But when you think of that, it's a program, right? It holds all this information. But that information, from what I'm being guided to say, is outsourced. It's not being sourced from us. It's being sourced from outside of us, projected at us. So the most important tools that we can use right now are what I'm hearing is the keys to the sacred heart space, the keys to the sacred neutral, the sacred. I'm hearing sacred credentials. Ooh, I could go into so many places with this. I'm hearing sacrum credentials. And I'm literally seeing just the whole body working together, like cranial sacral, the heart from the sacrum up, all the way up. But if we're not allowing that to happen, and we're not getting our feet on the ground, and we're not at least being in a place of coherence or gratitude, appreciation, then what happens, we end up in this place of lack, and it's a disconnect. And I'm seeing that back to that bedrock comment that I made. Woodpeckers talking to us. Rhythm, your own internal rhythm. It's a disconnect, and it makes the foundation, the point where this begins, becomes I'm hearing weak and indebted. Now, if I think of indebted, and I was talking earlier about credentials, and I was talking about our value system, it's like we're paying, right? We're giving value to something that isn't necessarily the truth, and then we become indebted to it. So we're being invited to let that go, and I'm hearing it also be, in part, going deeper, like go into depth versus into debt. So I'm playing with this. I'll play with these words a little bit more, but in love and light, guys, namaste.